Всем здорово, всем привет. Это условно очередная часть прохождения Pacific Drive. Условно почему? Потому что это можно назвать скорее нарезкой сюжетных частей, сюжетных элементов, диалогов, каких-то сюжетных локаций по прохождению. Почему так? Уже после записи геймплея, во время монтажа выяснилось, что звуковая дорожка микрофона не записана. А точнее, записана очень крайне тихо, там практически ничего не слышно. Считайте, что ее нет. К сожалению, так, это чисто мой косяк. Не проконтролировал, пишется ли голос перед записью. В итоге принял решение выложить в таком формате, чтобы просто можно было проследить сюжет, что там в принципе происходит. Другие пары вариантов были выложить как есть, то есть просто геймплей без голоса. И третий вариант — перестать выкладывать прохождение под запись, под видео. Пишите в комментариях, какой вариант вам больше близок. Ну а тем, кто будет смотреть дальше, приятного просмотра.
Sorry about all that mess with Oppie. There's no question, Oppie is a once-in-a-generation genius. I've watched her manipulate wavelengths with nanometer precision without batting an eye. So, to see her go from being the sharpest person in the room to what she is now is disappointing. This place, it leeches away your sanity day by day. So for Oppie to live here in complete isolation, locked away with only bad memories and expired medication, nothing good comes of that.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better if I knew why she suddenly cares so much about the remnants. Speaking of Oppie, you're not gonna like this, Francis. But I'm starting to think we can't do this alone. Look, it's not that I doubt our abilities. But no one knows the zone like that old man.
But you heard what she said. She'll sabotage this remnant before helping us.
Right. Well, she'll come around to our jobs.
No, she won't. Nothing in the 13 years we spent in R&D prove that she's open to working with anyone. She dug her heels in so deep that she wrestled everyone down into the grave with her. I can't be involved if she is.
What are you talking about? This is the entire reason we stayed behind, to write the record of the zone. Not about the experiments and the technology, but to tell the legends of the land.
I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her advice. I don't want to hear her goddamn voice.
This isn't like you. What's going on, Francis? Is there something I should know?
No.
All your work in limb R&D, all the time you spent, your entire career, your entire life, you sacrificed it all for honor, and how did they date you?
The black hole in your resume, when you can't tell anyone what you did. You couldn't even tell people where you wiped your ass for 10 years. So no, I'm not letting this go. Not for me, but especially not for you.
That's not...
Never mind.
You know, sometimes I wonder, how much of you staying here was actually to hunt these legends? Or if it was because you had nowhere else to go. Are you ready, driver? Okay, first off, I've loaded up 3 locations on your ARC device map. You see them? Hey, head to whichever strikes your fancy.
You sending them to the visions?
Sure am. We're gonna use this.
My optical vassalizer. We shouldn't use that.
Why not?
I mean, it's been decades. No way that thing is in any sort of working shape.
I've been fixing her up in secret, and I'm sorry. Don't be mad. It's gonna be a surprise for your birthday. Oh, I've gone ahead and made an itty-bitty modification to your headset, Triver. I've hooked up the basilizer here to modulate your scan function. Think of it like an extra layer of mayonnaise on your technology sandwich.
What are you using the basilizer for?
No spoilers. We have to tell the story from the beginning. Driver, get ready to feast your eyes on the visions. Okay, well, Francis' theory, his entire branch of research was that the zone exhibits a property seen nowhere else on Earth. Every phenomena that occurs here leaves its fingerprint forever on the physical space. So he created this device to pick up on these sub-physical after effects. How did you explain it? It was like identifying a whale's favorite color using only the wake it leaves behind. The rest was science mumbo-jumbo.
It's a form of electromagnetic imprint. Anyway, it was a long time ago. The Great Pile Up. You know, if you catch the mural at the right angle, when the moon is right overhead, you can spot the helmsman's body in one of the boats.
No chance. It's a paint smudge, nothing more.
Believe me, it's true. I've seen it.
Hey, is it just me or did this mural look different before?
Probably the instability messing with the paint over time. It's been decades after all.
Nah, something's definitely off. Hey, where's our old notes from when we took a field trip out that way? Driver, why don't you go ahead to the next one while we investigate this?
The Bigfoot mural. My personal favorite. Oh, did you see that, Francis? Oh boy, Francis, look. Look here. It's different from our sketch when we visited in '82.
It's all scrambled, but the shape seems familiar. If you tilt your head, doesn't that kind of look like
Mount Olympus?
Oh, Francis, you flippin' genius! It absolutely is! Wait, let's look back at the first one. What's different there?
That shape right there, is that Hook Valley?
Holy smokes! Oh, wait, pull up all the topographical maps of the peninsula. If we look around the areas where you get that view of Mount Olympus. See, Francis? I told you your basilizer would work.
I don't think this is the basilizer's doing.
Driver, we're on to something. Get to that third vision.
the inverting doorway?
I don't like this one. Oh, bingo!
See that pattern in the last mural? That flower only grows above a certain elevation. And then put the three locations together, and you've got a square mile in the northeast corner of the deep zone. Huh. The visions were pointing towards something the entire time.
Hey, Hoppy, you can stop pretending to ignore us now. Take a look at this fine work. We've pinned down the location for the source of the mass hallucination. That's where the driver needs to go.
Well, what do you know?
Well, I knew the basilizer worked. What did I tell you, huh?
He still doesn't know, Francis.
Know what? Hoppy?
Not my story to share.
My theory, and that basilizer, they're illegitimate.
Wait, what are you saying?
I built that device to prove my imprint theory, and it was on the verge of getting the results I needed. But my research funding was running out. So, much, just enough to justify more time. I was so close. I knew the breakthrough was right around the corner. But Arda found out. That's why I was reassigned and my clearance revoked.
Wait, you told me you changed labs voluntarily.
8 years of research with nothing to show for it, and then for that to happen, I couldn't face you.
That doesn't mean your theory is wrong. I still think there's something to it. There's a common thread with some of the remnant stories, like the telephone switchboard, the ones that seem to recall the past somehow. Maybe the remnants access those imprints, rest them like a needle in the groove of a record.
Don't. You don't have to do that. It's in the past. I don't care about it anymore.
But listen, I've got this suspicion, right? If we can just get the car to the mass hallucination source, what do we find that can prove your theory? It's worth a try, isn't it?
I'm tired of trying, Tobias. I've tried all my life, and it didn't go so well.
Look, I don't have one of those fancy degrees that you and Oppie have. The closest I ever got to science was wiping down your lab benches. But I saw the incredible things that you did with your research.
Yeah, well, Arda didn't think they were incredible.
I don't care about Arda. I believe in you. Always have.
I'm sorry. I can't. I can't do this with her. Oppie led the disciplinary committee that stripped my clearance and demoted me to a glorified intern. She sat there and decided how best to humiliate me. I never asked for anything.
This one time I do, so I would never have to talk to Oppie again. You didn't listen. Your remnant was more important than what I wanted.
Francis, I didn't mean...
I've had enough.
He'll come around. Sorry, driver, we'll see you back at the auto shop.
Interesting thing about that deep zone area you identified. I ran every coordinate in that area through the auto database, and what turns up? But access logs with entry records for Dr. K up through March 1963.
What? No, the doctor died in 1961. In the lab accident.
So we were told. Then, I found access logs for both that deep zone site and Red Meadow. Years and years worth of activity.
The Red Meadow Research Facility? But it was demolished the same year. After the structural damage caused by the... lied about that too, didn't they?
It appears so. The driver should give the Red Meadow ruins a visit. If Dr. K didn't die that day, I'd like to know what was keeping him so busy.
So would I, but... do we have time for this? We don't know how long the driver's got with that remnant.
And that's why we need this information. Whatever Dr. K was doing relates to all of this. It may be the key to what lies at the end of the road for the driver.
I... agree with you. God, I hate saying that.
Driver, I've marked the Red Meadow facility on your route planner. Head there whenever you're ready.
Oh, jeez. You know, I remember Red Meadow like it was yesterday. You up to your eyeballs in paperwork. Francis coated in chalk dust from the blackboards.
You mistaking my lab notes for a trash pile and throwing away weeks of work?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it again.
They bulldozed that facility to the ground. There's nothing left to reminisce about.
You ever regret all this?
From the very second I heard your voice coming through my speakers.
I mean, everything that happened, handing over Lynn, the way the project ended, it cost you Alan, your career, the entire damn Olympic Peninsula. She's still here.
So are you. You chose your urban legends over everything else.
You wonder if I regret it?
Oh, I have no interest in regret. I want to know if you ever felt that leaving was a real option.
After everything I've seen and heard and felt here, no, not a chance.
Then we have that in common.
So, what did Alan tell you about his work? He was second in command of Dr. K's lab after all.
Alan didn't discuss his work with me, nor did I share mine with him.
Wait, you were head of the whole stinking department. You must have known something about what that lab was doing.
If there was anything useful to be found, I'd have sussed it out already. That's all I did after the accident. Try and fail to find any answers. Dr. K's access records were coded to the lab that used to be here.
I'm feeling less optimistic by the second. I ought to scour this place clean.
Something's here. We just can't see it.
Oh, following a hunch. Not your usual MO, Oppie.
No, but being suspicious of Arda is.
Should have been the end of the facility.
According to the blueprints, anyway.
Immediately.
Well. After all these years, and Anna still has something to hide. We're definitely onto something now.
Driver, anything you find down there, scan and transmit it back to us. We'll work on disengaging the security protocol.
Okay, here's something. This thing in the deep zone,
They called it the well.
Oh, fantastic. Tobias, run those reports through the decryptor and see what you can find.
You'll like this, Tobias. Your remnant origin story, if you will.
let me guess. You're about to ruin a good urban legend with a bunch of science.
Fine, I'll read this one myself. Nice work, driver. We'll review these and summarize our findings after.
trying to convey something.
You can admire the doctor's newfound art skills all you want. You won't find anything useful in them.
This is a decrypted record of the accident. Poppy, are you sure you want to hear this? It's got details about Ellen's final moments.
It's been over 30 years. I'm past ready.
Go on, driver. Keep snooping and see what else you can find. Alan's lab notes. Maybe my late husband sent us something useful from the grave after all.
And you're all clear.
Give us a moment, we'll let you know what we found in all this data. And make your way back to the auto shop after you're done scouring the place. And driver, thank you.
deep zone. Easy peasy.
Except for the issue of the old wall.
Right, yeah. That. You got some genius idea up your sleeve, huh?
Is that how you think it works? That scientists conjure up genius at will?
Well, yeah. Do you?
Well, in this case, I do.
But don't expect it to work like that every time. Driver, the quarantine checkpoints will be the best way through the old wall, but they're death traps in their own right. But I designed something to help. Check out the blueprints I sent over.